In a statement by Buhari's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president directed the armed forces to seek bandits who inflicted the casualty and make them pay the price. Earlier, at least 7 officers were ambushed by gunmen on Monday while they were accompanying the expatriate to a mining site in Birnin-Gwari, local government area of Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria. The personnel who were attached to the Kaduna State Ministry of Mines were ambushed and killed alongside 5 others, according to the court director of public relations, Olusola Odumosu. Reacting to the incident, Buhari described the loss as tragic. The attack comes barely 1 month after at least 38 people were reportedly slain in isolated attacks in Kaduna State. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAM has commenced sale of the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and Direct Entry Application document in Nigeria and foreign centers. Application invited from suitably qualified candidates for admission to tertiary institutions in Nigeria for the 2023 academic. The period for registration for UTME candidates, including those from foreign countries, is from Saturday 14th to 2023 to Tuesday 14th of February 2023. Pin vending for UTME ends on Tuesday 14th of February 2023, while registration closes on Friday the 17th of January 2023. Candidates are to have valid and functional personal email address before commencing the process. Direct entry application would commence from Monday 20th of February 2023 to Thursday 20th of April 2023. Registration for direct entry would only be at the board state and zonal offices. On sports, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has disclosed that it has reduced the registration fees for the 2022-2023 Federation Cup, also known as ATO Cup, that gives every registered football club the opportunity to participate. Mohammed Sani has details of this and other sports updates.
The Federation Director of Competition Route, David, confirmed that the Nigeria Football Federation Board opted to review the fees downward in order to encourage many more clubs to participate in this year's competition in both the men's and women's categories. According to NFF, male clubs will pay 70,000, while female clubs will pay 50,000 for registration. David added that the program will continue to help clubs to leverage on the opportunity to compete at the national level. He said registration of clubs will be held between January 16 to 30th, while submission of completed players' forms for production of licenses will be done between January 31st to February 6th. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Interim Management Committee of Nigeria Professional Football League, Benga Elegbele, has expressed optimism that the 2022-2023 MPFL season will go down as one of the best organized in recent years. Elegbele, who stated this after he visited the Nigeria Football Federation President Ibrahim Musa Gusau in Abuja, said his optimism stemmed from the smooth take-up of the new season and the outcome of the opening game that saw newcomers Bendel Insurance beat the home side Akwa United 2-0 in Oyo on Sunday. In another update, former Super Falcons head coach Godwin Izilian has advised coach Randy Waldrum to introduce fresh players into the squad ahead of the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup to be co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand from July 20th to August 20th. Izilian advised Waldrum not to invite players that are bench warmers in their respective clubs to the team. She further said that the coach should build the team around young players. Izilian also advised the Nigeria Football Federation to organize high-quality friendlies for the girls to adequately prepare for the tournament. And on tennis, 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka has announced she is pregnant. The Japanese former world number 1, aged 25, withdrew from the Australian Open earlier this week. Having not played since September 2022, Osaka said 2023 will be a year that will be full of lessons for her, adding that she hopes to return in 2024. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradioenergy.com, or call us through this number, 0824444163.
Musa, me kake nema a cikin kitchen?
Masoyiyata,
Ina son cokali in sha magani.
Masoyi na, ka ɗauki comics kawai, ka yaga, sha, ka samu sauki.
Haka ne fa, ku yi amfani da comics ma duk kai tari. Comics yana da dextromethorphan da guaifenesin. Kawai ku yaga ku sha, ku samu sauki yana kulele in ka sha. Aha, na samu sauki yanzu. Ina son comics. Comics, kamfani Orange Drugs Limited da ke yin kasuwanci da dilancinta. Maganin zai iya saka kasala. In alamar tarin bata tsaya ba bayan kwana 3, ka ga likitanka. Comics yana kulele.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has intensified its public awareness campaign 18 days to the January 31st deadline when the old notes would cease to be legal tender. The 3 redesigned denominations of 1,000, 100, and 200 Naira banknotes were unveiled on November 23rd, 2022 by President Muhammadu Buhari. A team of officials from the CBN headquarters and their counterparts from the Abuja branch took the campaign to Wuse Market, Abuja's largest market, this afternoon to persuade traders and other members of the public to deposit their old Naira notes in their bank accounts before the deadline. Mr. William Karim, who represented the Abuja branch controller, Mr. Michael Okbu, justified the Naira redesign, which he said became inevitable given the high level of hoarding of banknotes in the country. He identified the benefits of the currency redesign to include helping to control inflation, as the exercise will bring the hoarded currency into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more effective. The Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Kano branch has called on traders to accept and use the e-Naira wallet for easy transactions in order to reduce high risk of Naira note circulation. The Kano CBN controller Umar Ibrahim Biu made the call today during the one-day sensitization program of Dawano grain dealers in the market. He also urged the traders to take their old Naira notes to the commercial banks for free exchange before the federal government's deadline of 31st January 2023.
This statistic shows that 84.71% of currency in circulation are outside the vaults of commercial banks, with only 15.29% in central bank and commercial banks. Secondly, is the worsening shortage of clean and fit banknotes, with attendant negative perception of the central bank and increased risks to financial stability.
Umar Ibrahim Biu added that investigations show the majority of the Naira note are circulated within the traders.
Currency management in Nigeria has faced several challenges that have continued to grow in scale and sophistication, with unintegrated expenses for the integrity of both the CBN and the country. Some of these challenges primarily include, first, a significant holding of banknotes by members of the public, with statistics showing that 2.723 billion out of the 3.26 billion currency in circulation as of June 2022 was outside the vault of commercial banks.
Correspondent Awal Hassan Fagir reports that on his part, an official at the Currency Operation Department, Shamsuddin Zubairu Imam, demonstrated to the traders on how to identify fake new Naira notes. And on the foreign scene, the European Commission will offer a 25.5 million euros boost to several African countries to help curtail the impact of an unprecedented food crisis caused by the fallout of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Hawa Adam Kiawa reports.
Ofishin kula da ayyukan jin kai na Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya.
The additional funds, which the EU executive announced today, will be used, among other things, to strengthen social protection schemes and key sectors such as food aid, nutrition, water sanitation and hygiene. Between soaring food, feed and fertilizer prices, trade disruptions, the invasion has sent shockwaves through the global agri-food sector, hitting the most vulnerable countries, including many food insecure countries in Africa, the hardest. The invasion also complicated EU-Africa relations, postponing a key EU-African Union summit, and its spillover effects are expected to continue to dominate EU-Africa ties over the coming months. Meanwhile, funds will also be used in conflict areas to support newly displaced populations and host communities. Algeria, Cameroon and Chad all stand in the line to receive 2 million euros of the new funding, while 4 million euros is earmarked for the Central African Republic and 5.5 million euros for Southern Africa and the Indian Ocean. However, Sudan stands in line for the biggest chunk of the funding, with 10 million euros set aside for the famine-ridden country, following warnings from the United Nations back in November 2022 that the Sudanese communities are likely to face starvation if humanitarian assistance is not sustained and climate adaptation measures are not scaled up. The spillover effects from Russia's war in Ukraine will continue to dominate EU-Africa ties over the coming months amid hints of a lower ambition on the EU side. Crisis Management Commissioner Janez Lenarčič said in a statement that the EU continues to show solidarity with Africa and continues its efforts to address the global impact of Russia's war in Ukraine, but also the consequences of localized conflicts and displacement. Hawa Adam Kiawa, Freedom Radio.
For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have a clear of 15 degrees Celsius and later change to 19 degrees Celsius with sunny interval and a gentle breeze. Abuja, we experience partly cloudy and light winds at an average temperature of 18 degrees Celsius and later change to 24 degrees Celsius with a sunny intervals and light winds. Kaduna, we experience a clear sky and light winds at an average temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and later change to 17 degrees Celsius with a sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Lagos will be misty and light winds at an average temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and later change to 25 degrees Celsius with sunny interval and light winds. Moving to Niger Republic, Maradi, we experience a clear sky and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and later change to 17 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a moderate breeze. While in there, we have a clear sky and light winds at an average temperature of 15 degrees Celsius and later change to 18 degrees Celsius with a sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. I'm a Friday Destiny, Freedom Radio.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team and Zahrah, thank you for listening.
Freedom.
Pop.
Freedom. 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 Freedom.